Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to extend the left leg forward, right leg back, not too much distance in between. We're going to keep our torso nice and straight, and we're simply going to be elongating this leg, so let's keep it straight, and then let's fold. At the hips we're going to fold. We don't really want to be curved over like that at the start, so we're just going to fold down until we can feel some tension in the back of the leg. So we can move our foot backwards a little bit like this, or forwards. What we want to do is feel some uncomfortable tension, but not too uncomfortable that it's too strenuous. And we're just going to want to hold it here for a little moment. We can try and get lower if we want, keeping that back straight. If you want to feel it a bit more, we can then start curving the back, but it's not always the best thing, because if you've got a curved back, it's never that good for our posture. So yeah, so we hold it here for about 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and elongate a little bit more. We can cross to the other side of the leg, same thing. So straighten out the front leg, back leg that can have a little bend in it, and we just very slowly elongate. Can start to bring it down a little bit. Recommend probably 15 to 30 seconds to start off with, and then we can build it up. Personally, I'll probably do it for about a minute, try and build it up to that. What we're going to do next, maintaining that hamstring stretch, going to keep our feet just a tiny bit wider than hips distance. And again, it's going to be the same principle. So we're going to be folding at the hips, and not so much curved. I'm going to very slowly do it. Important, we want to keep the heels down as firmly as possible, and then just fold down. Again, we're going to feel this quite a lot in the back of the legs, so if it's too intense, just come up a bit. Eventually, we can start going down. At a certain point, you will start to bend the spine. Over time, we can touch the shins or touch the toes, but for now, we can just hold it like that. Cool. So, stretching out the quads. We've just done the hamstrings. Let's do the opposing muscles. So let's balance on one foot. Let's grab the other ankle, not the foot. So if we grab the foot here, we're stretching out the ankle a bit, but that's not the purpose of this stretch. So we're going to want to hold on to the ankle, keeping the knees nice and close, just maintaining that balance. So what helps with this, I find, if you look at something mid-distance away and you just focus on that point, that can quite often maintain balance. If you're coming around here, you might get a little bit shaky. Going down into a low lunge, so we've got one leg out. What we're going to want to make sure we do is we keep that spine nice and straight. Got that chest proud, so we're not hunched over. Sort of a right angle here. Hold it for about 30 seconds or so. And then gradually start to push forward, but maintaining a straight spine. So we're not going forward like this, but we're just doing this. Slowly come back and we'll do the other leg. So again, 90 degrees, and change that angle. So just front view, sort of like this, moving back. Cool. All right, so next thing, we're going to stretch out the adductors. So what to do, we get onto our tabletop position, and we can start to lower the arms down. And we just bring one knee either side, pop the feet out like so, and then basically we're going to extend those legs. Get a little bit lower here, we can start to extend the legs sideways. Extending it here. push forward with those hips as well. So this stretch, a lot of people are quite tight here. There's a few working things that we might want to do before we get to that stage. Sort of fold down like this. Depending on your flexibility, you can adjust your stretch accordingly. Alright, so we get onto our knees, hands on the floor, and then we just pop one leg up. And we just bring this knee forward. Really good for the glutes. So to show you a little front angle of it. So we bring this knee forward, keeping the left or the right leg back. And we're just sort of leaning in. We can extend the arms and bring all the top, the torso over that. We can try and extend this a little bit further. So if we keep the leg at this sort of angle and we can come down, that will give us a bigger stretch, but might need to work before we can get to that part. So I'll just show you up the side. So again, rather than bring the knee forward like this, bring it forward and we bring it around a bit. So it's called the King Pigeon pose in yoga. This is King Pigeon. And then Pigeon. So we can incorporate a few of those things. And of course we'd go on to the other side as well. So, on tabletop, a nice flow to do. Getting into tabletop, got the toes down at the start, got the shoulders over the arms, hands firmly down. You can got those feet here. You can let the top part of the feet come down. You can get into that child's pose. So the first part is going to be coming from here, pushing the hips back. Bring the arms forward, and we can sink into that a little bit more. From here, we get back into tabletop. Extend those legs back. Start to sink the hips down. Got the arms nice and straight. And we got that curve. So this is King Cobra. In King Cobra, we can get the feet, firmly place them into the floor. Bring the hands down just a little bit closer to the body. I'm going to start to push up, so we're going to be lifting the hips off the floor. We can tense the glutes quite a lot, especially if you feel it in the lower back. Keeping those arms straight. And slowly looking up. Popping your hips down. Slowly release. Cool. Now, downward dog. So I want to come into this from tabletop position. Pop your toes down. First of all, we put a bit of weight in the arms. Start to bring those hips up. Extend those heels. Extend those arms. Move backwards a bit, or we can bring it forward. Alright, let's go into a little flow based upon some of those things. So, I'm going to go down, and using that hamstring stretch. Back up, change legs, hamstring stretch. Do both sides at the same time. Start to come down. Then plant the hands on the floor, walk them forwards. Coming down to the floor, into our tabletop. From there, going into child's pose, so you adjust yourself. From child's pose, I'm gonna bring the hands back just a little bit. I'm gonna very slowly rise into tabletop, Extend those legs back. Pop those toes on the floor. And then we come into upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, we go into plank. And from plank, what I need to do is bring my feet just a little bit further forward. And we graduate into downward dog. Downward dog. Come to tabletop. Child's pose. Tabletop. To upward dog. So that's a really good flow, and it really stretches out a lot of the body. The body is not just it's not just the muscles, each individual muscle in the body, but quite often we've got a muscle sheathia, this big organ of skin around the whole of the muscles. What a full body stretch like this does is it engages that a lot more than any one specific stretch. So we can go slowly into this, or we can go fast. Walk the hands back. Alright, I'm just going to throw one last thing in. So when we're in downward dog, you'll have enough strength in your shoulders and your arms, hopefully, to do this. Go from downward dog, slowly start to bend the elbows, bring the head to the floor, and as we do, start to curve through. Into upward dog, from upward dog, lift the hips up. Alright, we'll stretch from the back. Keeping the feet firmly on the ground, keeping the hips on the ground. We're going to tense up from the glutes, and we just bring the hands to the side. We sort of go on the fingertips for this. We're not putting too much weight on the hands. We're going to be raising the spine. So keep our chin down, and we slowly start to lift the back, the top of the back, mid back, and upper back. Now as we do, not necessarily that strong in this point, so this is when you can start to rely on the hands to bring you up. So you're not directly pushing, but you're just letting a little bit of weight get taken by that, just to assist us. And slowly back down, curling the spine, one bit of vertebra at a time. Bring your hands to the side, and again, tense those glutes. Push the hips down, push those feet down. Cool, nice little flow.